Keptagón, the story of a deadly trade. A pill created by Assad, continued by the IRGC. The fall of Assad did not end the corruption, it merely opened a new chapter in the Keptagón trade. This is the story of Keptagón. Years of Bashar al-Assad's rule were marked by oppression and civil war, but the deadly trade that began under his regime persists to this day. The fall of Assad did not end the corruption, it merely opened a new chapter in the Keptagón trade. During Bashar al-Assad's reign, Keptagón production became a cornerstone of the regime's illicit economy. Factories in Latakia, Homs and Damascus, overseen by the Syrian army under Mar al-Assad, provided the financial resources needed for internal repression and war efforts. Producing Keptagón requires simple chemicals like amphetamine and theophylline. These materials were easily accessible and processed in small, clandestine workshops for mass production. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC, as Assad's primary backer, not only secured production lines but also managed the trafficking networks. The Keptagón trade became a means to bypass sanctions and finance Iran's proxy forces in the region. After Assad's fall, many state structures collapsed. However, the trafficking networks established during his reign remained active, now under the management of IRGC forces. These networks continue to operate independently of the Assad regime. In the post-Assad era, the IRGC assumed a more dominant role in overseeing the Keptagón trade. Iran's proxy forces, like Hezbollah, leveraged existing infrastructure to expand this trade and establish new routes for trafficking the drug. The main Keptagón trafficking routes include southern Syria to Jordan, western Syria to Lebanon, and eastern Syria to Iraq. From these points, shipments reach the Gulf states, Europe, and even Asia. Hezbollah, acting as the operational arm of the IRGC, remains responsible for transporting Keptagón to international markets. The group uses Beirut's port to ship these products to Europe and the Gulf. Following Assad's fall, the Keptagón trade became a primary source of revenue for the IRGC and its affiliates. This trade generates billions of dollars annually, funding Iran's military and political operations across the region. The Keptagón trade has had devastating effects on regional societies. Widespread addiction among young people in Gulf countries and rising crimes linked to its use have created a serious crisis. In recent years, neighboring countries have tried to curb this deadly trade. Last year alone, over 50 million Keptagón pills were seized at the borders of Jordan and Saudi Arabia. The global community, including the United States and the European Union, has imposed sanctions on individuals and entities involved in the Keptagón trade. However, these measures have yet to dismantle the extensive trafficking networks. After Assad's fall, the trafficking networks expanded into Europe. Shipments of Keptagón have been intercepted at ports in Italy and Greece, highlighting the trade's growth beyond the Middle East. Despite Assad's downfall, the Keptagón trade endures. The IRGC and Iran's affiliates have turned it into a tool for funding their ambitions and extending their influence across the region. Keptagón, the dark legacy of a fallen regime, continues to claim victims. This trade is not merely a remnant of past corruption, but a weapon of power for today and the future.